You know, there's something no one really tells you about getting older. It's not just the gray hair, or the slower mornings, or even the wrinkles in the mirror. It's the nights, the long, restless, unforgiving nights. You lie there in the quiet, sometimes staring at the ceiling, sometimes watching the minutes on the clock tick past, and wonder, why can't I sleep the way I used to? You've had a long day, your body is tired, but your brain refuses to settle down. Your legs feel twitchy, your heart flutters a bit more than usual. You feel like you're running on fumes, but sleep stays just out of reach. And if you've ever thought, maybe this is just what happens after 65, I want you to pause and consider this. What if the problem isn't just age? What if it's magnesium? Now, most seniors I've talked to, friends, neighbors, even folks I meet at the senior center, don't give much thought to magnesium. It's not as well known as calcium or iron, and it sure doesn't get the spotlight like vitamin D. But here's the quiet truth. Magnesium is absolutely essential. It's involved in over 300 processes in the body. It helps regulate your heartbeat, calm your nervous system, relax your muscles, and most importantly for us tonight, it supports deep, healing sleep. Yet studies show that nearly 70% of adults over 65 are magnesium deficient. Not because they're doing something wrong, but because as we age, our bodies simply absorb less of it from the foods we eat. It slips away unnoticed. And what does that lead to? Poor sleep, anxious thoughts, night cramps, fatigue in the morning, even irregular heart rhythms. That's not just a nuisance, it's a red flag waving silently. Let me share with you the story of Walter. He's 79, retired engineer from Ohio, a man who used to work late into the night solving complex mechanical problems, sharp as a tack, steady as a rock. But after retirement, his nights started falling apart. He'd lie down and feel his legs twitch constantly, something called restless leg syndrome. His thoughts would spiral, his chest would flutter, and even when he finally managed to fall asleep, he'd wake up 2 hours later, drenched in sweat or feeling like he couldn't catch his breath. His doctor offered sleep medication, but Walter had always believed in elderly wisdom. He wanted a solution that made sense, something that worked with his body, not against it. That's when he came across an article from a neurologist talking about magnesium. Simple, humble magnesium. The doctor wrote that it wasn't just helpful, it was critical for seniors looking to improve sleep, especially for men like Walter, who also experienced heart palpitations and anxiety at night. So Walter decided to try something simple. He didn't change his entire diet. He didn't go on any wild supplement routine. He just began including magnesium-rich foods in his evening meals. The results? Within a few weeks, his legs calmed, his heart stopped racing, and for the first time in over a year, he slept 6 hours straight without waking once. He told me, "It was like my body had been waiting for this one thing, like I was finally giving it what it had been asking for all along." That stuck with me. Because here's the thing, magnesium isn't some miracle drug. It's a foundational mineral, especially vital for people over 60. And even more so if you're having trouble sleeping, feeling anxious, or waking up feeling like you never slept at all. So what exactly was Walter eating? Let's start with the first food. Pumpkin seeds. Now I know, it sounds small, almost too simple, but these tiny green seeds are one of the most magnesium-rich foods you can find. Just 1 ounce, about a handful, contains nearly 40% of your daily magnesium needs. That's huge. Even better, pumpkin seeds are also high in tryptophan, the same amino acid your body uses to create melatonin, the hormone that tells your brain it's time to sleep. It's like a 1-2 punch. The magnesium calms the nervous system, and the tryptophan triggers the natural rhythm of sleep. I always suggest people eat them roasted with a bit of sea salt, or sprinkle them over a small bowl of Greek yogurt for a gentle bedtime snack. Nothing heavy, just something simple and nourishing. This isn't about a fancy diet. It's about elderly reflection, the quiet realization that maybe we've overlooked the most powerful solutions because they didn't seem flat. Now let's talk about dark leafy greens. Spinach, chard, kale. These foods don't often make it onto a senior's plate at night, but they should. They're not just full of magnesium, they're also packed with calcium, potassium, and antioxidants that calm inflammation and regulate blood pressure. And here's something few people realize. Your body absorbs magnesium better at night. That means a small serving of sautéed spinach with dinner, or a warm salad with Swiss chard before bed, could make a bigger difference than a vitamin you take in the morning. I remember Joan, from 83 years old, from Yorkshire, England, who had been waking up every night at 1:45 a.m. sharp. She said she'd just sit there, wide awake, wondering if something was wrong with her heart. Her doctor found nothing dangerous. She started preparing a small sautéed spinach dish in the evenings. Nothing complicated, just fresh greens with a bit of olive oil and garlic. 2 weeks later, she told me, "I sleep through the night now. I still wake up early, but I don't feel that panic anymore. I feel like my body is resting again." These are the kinds of stories we need to hear more of. Life lessons from the elderly who found strength not in prescriptions, but in the quiet power of food. And it's not just about sleep. Magnesium-rich foods also reduce muscle tension, improve heart rhythm, and even help calm the kind of silent, background anxiety that so many seniors live with and never mention. And I want to be clear, this isn't about eliminating every issue overnight. It's about giving your body the tools it needs to restore balance. That's what senior health is really about. Not perfection, but peace. Not chasing youth, but choosing wisdom. So tonight, before you go to bed, I want you to look at what's on your plate. Are you feeding your body the minerals it needs to wind down? Or are you accidentally creating more tension, more wakefulness, more strain? Just a handful of pumpkin seeds, a small dish of dark greens. These aren't big changes, but they're the kind of changes that carry real inspiration. Because every quiet choice you make for your body is a loud message to yourself. I still matter. My rest matters. My health matters. Before we journey further, where we'll uncover 2 more gentle magnesium-rich allies, including a calming evening drink known to ease tension and support digestion, I'd love to invite you to pause for a moment. Reflect on what resonated with you just now. What part of your day or your health feels like it's ready for a shift? Has sleep been a struggle for you? Do you find your thoughts racing at night or your legs refusing to calm down? If so, you're not alone. You're not broken, and you're not helpless. You might just be missing the one mineral that ties it all together. If you found something meaningful here, I'd love to hear from you. Where are you watching from? Drop a comment and let me know. US, Canada, the UK, Australia, wherever you are, this community is here to grow together. And please, don't forget to like, subscribe, and tap the bell so you never miss the next chapter in our journey toward better nights and brighter mornings. Because at Elderly Reflections, we believe in honoring elderly wisdom, celebrating senior strength, and sharing stories that bring us back to what really matters: rest, nourishment, and quiet motivation to live well after 60. Let me ask you something personal. When was the last time you woke up and actually felt rested? Not just I made it through the night, not just I didn't toss and turn too much, but that rare, deep kind of rest where your body feels lighter, your chest calm, your thoughts soft. If it's been a while, you're not alone. One of the biggest challenges I hear from people in their 70s and 80s is this: they sleep, and that's why tonight we're continuing our conversation about magnesium, the quiet mineral that so many seniors are missing, and that could be the key to turning exhaustion into renewal. Earlier, we explored the quiet strength of pumpkin seeds and the deep nourishment of dark leafy greens, humble foods with profound healing potential tucked into every bite. But now I want to show you 2 more magnesium-rich allies that can support your sleep, your mood, and even your muscle strength, all while honoring the gentle pace of life after 65. Let me introduce you to Carl. He's 76, a retired pianist living in a small town in Vermont. Every evening before bed, Carl has a ritual. Why almond milk? Because unlike regular cow's milk, almond milk is naturally rich in magnesium, especially when you choose the unsweetened, fortified kind. 1 cup can give you up to 17% of your daily magnesium, and when warmed gently, it becomes a calming, almost meditative drink. Carl told me, "I don't know if it's the warmth, the music, or the magnesium. Maybe it's all 3. But since I started this, my body doesn't fight me when I lie down. It's like I'm signaling the day is done." That's what elderly wisdom looks like: choosing rituals over routines, signals over noise. But there's something deeper happening here. Magnesium supports the GABA receptors in your brain, the same receptors that tell your mind to slow down. When you drink something magnesium-rich, like almond milk before bed, you're literally helping your brain produce more calm, more stillness, less tension, less chatter. Now for our second food tonight, and this one might surprise you. It's not a drink, it's not green, it's dark chocolate. Yes, chocolate, but not the sweet milky kind you find near the checkout aisle. I'm talking about 70% or higher dark chocolate, rich in flavonoids, antioxidants, and most importantly, magnesium. Just 1 small square, about an ounce, can give you 15% of your daily magnesium. And more than that, it satisfies your evening craving in a way that supports your body, not overstimulates it. I met Elena, a 72-year-old widow from Lisbon, Portugal, who had struggled with nighttime anxiety for years. She wasn't depressed, she wasn't afraid, but she described it as this vague unease that would settle in just after sundown. Her doctor said it was normal aging and suggested medication, but Elena wanted something more natural, something rooted in care, not chemicals. She started pairing a single square of dark chocolate with a handful of pumpkin seeds at 8 p.m., followed by a warm shower and a quiet reading session. In less than 2 weeks, her anxiety softened, her digestion improved, and most of all, her sleep felt safe again. She said, "It's like I reclaimed my night." Isn't that what so many seniors are craving? Not just more sleep, but more safety in the sleep. A sense that our nights are ours again, not stolen by worry, not ruled by medication, not disrupted by unknown discomfort. And sometimes the path to that peace begins with the smallest gesture. A square of chocolate, a mug of almond milk, a bit of elderly reflection before the lights go out. And here's something you might not know. Magnesium also helps reduce nighttime muscle cramps, something that affects nearly 50% of people over 60. Those sudden jolts in the calves or feet that wake you in the middle of the night, leaving you sore and frustrated, that can often be traced back to low magnesium levels. The foods we've talked about so far, dark chocolate, almond milk, leafy greens, pumpkin seeds, all work gently to refill that magnesium and ease those cramps without harsh medicine. But here's the beautiful part. This isn't about restriction. It's not about cutting out or giving up. It's about adding foods that tell your body, you're safe now. You can rest. This is the kind of wisdom that gets stronger with age. When we stop chasing intensity and start choosing intentionality. When we realize that healing doesn't always need to come from a bottle. Sometimes it comes from a warm drink, a quiet moment, and a trace mineral that helps your heart beat just a little more steadily. So tonight I invite you to try what Carl and Elena tried. Maybe pour yourself a cup of warm almond milk. Maybe keep a square of dark chocolate in a small bowl by your chair. Not as a treat, but as a signal, a ritual, a form of care. Because that's what real senior health is about. Not just the absence of illness, but the presence of peace. Before we wrap up this part, let me ask you again. Where are you watching from? I'd love to hear it in the comments. The US, the UK, Spain, Canada, Australia. Wherever you are, story is part of this one. This channel is not just about tips. It's about life lessons from the elderly, the quiet truths we've earned the right to live by. If this speaks to you, please like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss another story. Another voice, another moment of reflection that could change your nights and your days. And stay with us because soon we'll journey even deeper, uncovering how to shape a soothing nighttime ritual around magnesium, steer clear of sneaky sleep disruptors, and unlock the surprising mineral companion that supercharges magnesium's calming effects. Because here at Elderly Reflections, we don't just share information, we share inspiration, elderly motivation, and most of all, hope. Hope that after 60, your best rest is still ahead. There's something deeply sacred about the final hour of the day, especially after 65. The noise quiets, the phone stops ringing, and for many seniors, this is the only moment when we can finally hear ourselves think. But here's the question, are we using this hour to nourish the body, or are we unknowingly sabotaging the very sleep we long for? Earlier, we uncovered how magnesium quietly nurtures peace, found in humble pumpkin seeds, leafy greens, and the wisdom passed down through generations. Then we explored how a warm mug of almond milk or even a square of dark chocolate can gently restore emotional balance and settle a restless mind. But tonight, I want to bring everything together, because healing sleep isn't just about what you eat. It's about how you prepare your body for peace. Let me take you to Arizona, where I met Ruth around 8:00 p.m. every night. She'd set out a small bowl of steamed spinach with olive oil, a few roasted pumpkin seeds, a warmed mug of almond milk, and yes, one perfect square of dark chocolate. No screens, no headlines, just soft light, maybe a classical radio station, and a quiet journal. She told me, it's not a meal, it's a message to my body that it's safe to rest now. And here's what science says. Ruth was right. Research from the National Institutes of Health confirms that magnesium plays a critical role in supporting sleep quality, especially for seniors. It helps regulate melatonin, reduces cortisol spikes, and supports muscle relaxation and steady heartbeat during REM sleep. But even more than that, supports independence. Seniors who sleep better experience fewer falls, sharper memory, and reduced risk of depression. That's not just sleep, that's security. Now let's talk about timing. Your magnesium-rich snack should happen 1.5 to 2 hours before bed. That gives your digestive system time to work gently without disrupting your sleep. Don't overdo it. Remember, less is more at night. A tablespoon of seeds, half a cup of almond milk, a few greens, no big bowls, just small sacred servings. Think of it not as a diet, but as elderly reflection. A closing ritual that honors your day, your body, and your right to still feel strong. And just as there are foods that help you rest, there are some that rob you of that rest, quietly, slowly, and sometimes without you noticing. Let's go through them. First, refined sugar. That cookie or cereal before bed might feel comforting, but it spikes insulin, raises your heart rate, and can cause blood sugar crashes in the middle of the night. For seniors, that can mean nighttime anxiety, bathroom trips, or waking up in a sweat. Second, processed carbs like white toast, crackers, or even some healthy granola bars. These digest too fast and create tension, not restoration. Third, and this may surprise you, alcohol. Many seniors have a glass of wine to help sleep, but in truth, alcohol disrupts your REM cycles, reduces melatonin, and increases your risk of nighttime awakenings and blood pressure swings. If you do drink, do it early, and not as part of your bedtime routine. Finally, overhydration. Yes, hydration is important, but after 8 p.m., too much liquid can interrupt your sleep with frequent trips to the bathroom and increase your fall risk if your blood pressure drops when you stand up. Sip slowly, not excessively. Now let me share one more pairing that enhances everything we've talked about. Magnesium plus vitamin B6. B6 helps your body absorb magnesium more efficiently and supports serotonin production, which then becomes melatonin. Your sleep hormone. Foods rich in B6 include bananas, chickpeas, and avocados, all of which pair beautifully with magnesium-rich snacks. A small slice of avocado toast on whole grain bread, that's not just tasty, that's therapeutic. Elderly wisdom tells us, healing doesn't have to be hard, it just has to be intentional. Tonight, you have the chance to rebuild your evenings. Not with noise, but with nourishment. Not with stress, but with structure. Build your tray, light your lamp, turn off the headlines, give your body the signal you are safe, you are loved, you can rest. Because after 60, sleep is not just rest, it is repair. It is your body doing its deepest healing. And magnesium, though silent, may be the very mineral that helps you return to that healing, night after night. Before we end, I'd love to hear from you. Where are you watching from? The US? Ireland? The Netherlands? Share your story in the comments. What's your nighttime ritual? Have you tried any of these foods? What works for your body? Let's learn from each other. Let's share our life lessons from the elderly, not to teach, but to remind. Remind each other that health at this age isn't about chasing youth, it's about protecting peace. If this video brought you comfort, inspiration, or even just a moment of quiet motivation, please like, subscribe, and turn on the bell so you never miss the next chapter. This is Elderly Reflections, where we don't just talk about senior health, we live it, one mindful moment at a time. Here's to your sleep, here's to your strength, and here's to the small rituals that keep us whole.